Hey, shalom, brothers and sisters. Welcome back. I thank you again for joining me today. Today I want to talk about this character. First I had second thoughts if I should do it or not. Um, After I did a video a few days ago about Saint John of the Cross and him being a mystic, I figured this next person might as well talk about him, and that was the Mad Monk himself, Grigori Rasputin, and reason I'm going to talk about him. It's not to glorify him or promote him to sainthood or anything like that. It's like a cautionary tale. Just because somebody might have some kind of questionable supernatural powers, I don't know, like healing or we see in the future, doesn't mean it comes from above. It doesn't come from Yahweh. It could come from the devil himself. He has the power to do that. And I just want to give a little bit of info about him, a little story about him, and a lot of the stories basically are legendary as far as what to believe, what not to believe. I've heard different versions of stories, and this is one I'm just going to share with you right now. But his last names, and excuse me about these Russian names of people or places. I'm not good with saying Russian stuff very well. It's all Russian to me, I guess you could say it. But his last name wasn't Rasputin. I'm going to tell you why they called him that and why and where it came from, things like that. But okay, first he was born in January 21st, 1869, in Pokrovskoye, Russia. Please excuse that. Passed away December 30th, 1916, and Yusupov Palace, St. Petersburg. All right, right here, he had four legitimate children and was an imposing 6'4" in height, a Siberian peasant and mystic whose ability to improve the condition of Tsar Nicholas II's son, the hemophiliac heir to the Russian throne, made him an influential favorite at the court of Emperor Nicholas II and Empress Alexandria. Although he attended school, Rasputin remained illiterate, and his reputation for licentiousness earned him the surname Rasputin, Russian for debauched one. Now it kind of makes you wonder, Rasputin, and then you got Vladimir Putin. Okay, you got you got Putin here. When it comes to Vladimir Putin, the last name Putin, does that mean Putin's name means one, or does it mean debauched? That's just something off the top of my head right there. I'll get back to this. He evidently underwent a religious conversion at the age 18, and eventually he went to a monastery at Verkhoture, where he was introduced to the Chalsties, the Pelagius sect. He perverted those beliefs into the doctrine that one was nearest Yahweh when feeling holy passionlessness, and that the best way to reach such a state was through the sexual exhaustion that came after prolonged debauchery. Rasputin did not become a monk. He returned to his hometown, and at the age of 18, married Proskova Dubrovina, who later bore him children. Marriage did not settle with Rasputin. He left home and wandered to Mount Athos in Greece and Jerusalem, living off of peasants' donations and gaining a reputation as a starets, which is a self-proclaimed holy man, with the ability to heal the sick and to predict the future. Rasputin's wanderings took him to St. Petersburg in 1903, where he was welcomed by the Ofen by Theo Ofen, inspector of the Religious Academy of St. Petersburg, and Hermogen, bishop of Saratov. The court circles of St. Petersburg at that time were entertaining themselves by delving into mysticism and the occult. So Rasputin, a filthy wanderer with brilliant eyes and allegedly extraordinary healing talents, was warmly welcomed. What a great addition. In 1905, Rasputin was introduced to the royal family, and in 1908, he was summoned to the palace of Nicholas and Alexandra during one of their hemophilic son's bleeding episodes. Rasputin succeeded in easing the boy's suffering, which would possibly by his hypnotic powers, and upon leaving the palace, warned the parents that the destiny of both the child and the destiny were basically linked to him, thereby setting in motion a decade of Rasputin's powerful influence on the imperial family and affairs of state. In the presence of the royal family, Rasputin consistently maintained the posture of a humble and holy peasant. Outside court, however, he soon fell into his former lawless habits, preaching that physical contact with his own person had a purifying and healing effect. He acquired mistresses and attempted to seduce many other women. When accounts of Rasputin's conduct reached the ears of Nicholas, the Tsar refused to believe that he was anything other than a holy man, and Rasputin's accusers found themselves transferred to remote regions of the empire or entirely removed from their positions of influence. By 1911, Rasputin's behavior had become a general scandal. The Prime Minister, P.A. Stolypin, sent the Tsar a report on Rasputin's misdeeds. As a result, the Tsar expelled Rasputin, but Alexandra had him returned within a matter of months. Nicholas, anxious not to displease his wife or endanger his son, upon whom Rasputin had obviously beneficial effect, chose to ignore further allegations of wrongdoing. Rasputin reached the pinnacle of his power at the Russian court after 1915. During World War I, Nicholas II took personal command of his forces, and that was in September 1915, and went to the troops on the front, leaving Alexandra in charge of Russia's internal affairs, while Rasputin served as her personal advisor. Rasputin's influence ranged from the appointment of church officials to the selection of cabinet ministers, often incompetent opportunists, of course, and he occasionally intervened in military matters to Russia's detriment. Though supporting no particular political group, Rasputin was a strong opponent of anyone opposing the autocracy of himself. Several attempts were made to take his life and save Russia from further calamity, but none was successful until 1916. Then a group of extreme conservatives, including Prince Felix Yusupov, husband of the Tsar's niece. Then you got Vladimir Pureshkevich, a member of the Duma, which was sort of like, I guess it's like Congress or something like that, and Grand Duke Dmitry Pavlovich, the Tsar's cousin, formed a conspiracy to eliminate Rasputin and save the monarchy from further scandal. On the night of either December 29th or 30th, which the old style is December 16th and 17th, there's a calendar difference here, old and new style, Rasputin was invited to visit Yusupov's home, and according to legend, once there he was given poisoned wine and tea cakes. When he did not die, the frantic Yusupov shot him. Rasputin collapsed, was able to run out into the courtyard where Pereshevich shot him again. The conspirators then bound him and threw uh, uh, through a hole in the ice into the Neva River. They already had it pre-planned. They cut a hole in the ice in the river and put him in there, where he finally died from drowning. However, his subsequent autopsy largely refuted this account of events. He was apparently shot to death. The murder merely strengthened Alexander's resolve to uphold the principle of autocracy. But a few weeks later, the whole imperial regime was swept away by revolution, which were the communist Bolsheviks. And there was a certain program I saw a while back, years ago, and said he actually even predicted if he passed away that the imperial family wasn't going to live and the kingdom was going to be taken away and all kinds of things. But I've heard all kinds of things. I watched TV programs about him here and there and past 10, 20 years off and on when shows would pop on. But like I said, I've heard he wasn't only just shot and poisoned, he was beaten in the head and stabbed too before they actually put him in the river. It's just a bunch of just legends right there and myths. You don't know what's true or false, but it's just an interesting tale. And the reason I wanted to bring this up was just because, like I said at the beginning, just because he had some sort of healing powers, or he could foresee the future, or he had hypnotic powers. He doesn't mean he comes from Yahweh. Because look at his despicable living habits, his behavior, and his conduct. It wasn't Christian at all. And that's just a lesson to be learned. Was, if somebody like that, somebody comes around and has certain things where they could do some healing, doesn't mean they're from above. Because like I said before, the devil, he has the power to instill certain powers into certain human beings. And he's done that before, and he's going to do that right at the end with the man of sin, the future world dictator, some people call the Antichrist, or I call him the Beast Man. But anyways, that's all I wanted to say about him. I just thought it was just something interesting, and again, anyways, comment below. Let me know what you think about this mysterious figure, and also give me a big thumbs up, hit that notification bell, and also subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. And feel free to watch my other videos too. Almost forgot that. But anyways, that's all I really want to say right now. And I thank you again for joining me. Until we meet again, brothers and sisters, peace out and shalom.